Okay, welcome. You are now listening to the Make Six Figures in 6 Months. So what I'm going to do in this presentation is literally teach you everything I did and learn from other people to make 6 figures in 6 months. I have adapted some of my own strategies in here that I thought worked and didn't work, but I am living proof that it can happen. I'm not sitting here saying that it is going to be quote unquote easy. You definitely have to be willing to expand out of your comfort zone, shift your mindset, and continue to trial and error. Especially now when we're doing this recording, it is during COVID. So I'm going to share with you how I grew. If you are new to the online space and or need help strategizing how to move online and how these tools and techniques can apply to your specific business or industry, please reach out to me. I offer one-on-one free consultation, so reach out, happy to help and happy to help you adapt in this new online space. So here we go. Okay, so who am I? If you do not know me, my name is Vanessa Ortali. I'm a speaker, coach, and entrepreneur. I love mindset and business. That's what I coach on. That's what I speak on. So I specifically help leaders, entrepreneurs, and celebrities to multiply their income while feeling good. Because I truly believe, we grew up with this hustle, hustle, hustle. And to be successful as a business owner and a professional, you really need to hustle and grind. And I do not believe in that. When I was doing that, I felt like shit. And I truly have worked the last 15 years to master a millionaire mind. So I was able to make money, build financial freedom while building inner peace and freedom within myself. So if that's something you really subscribe to, then definitely reach out and I will continue to give strategy on that. I did do a workshop specifically on millionaire mindset. So if you want a copy of that, send me a DM on Instagram or in the chat and I will forward you a copy so you can also get the mindset component. But today we're specifically going to be talking about business strategy to get you to 6 figures in 6 months. And if you're at 6 figures, that's awesome. This can help you get further. So who is this for? People who want to scale online. Obviously now during quarantine, COVID, whatever you want to call it, it is shifting everything online. This shift was happening, whether we liked it or not. We have now just excelled forward at a rapid rate trying to move all of these businesses online. If we can't adapt, we're going to fail. And so we need to just continue to adapt and surround ourselves with people who have done it. All of my coaches and mentors, I have 4, they have already built multi-million-dollar businesses. So what I'm working on right now with my coaches is great. How do I scale from multiple 6 figures to now multiple 7 figures? And I'm going to continue to share with you everything I learn in that process as well. So what I'm going to go over with you today, we are going to do how to provide value to your community, how to generate more leads, how to know your numbers. This is really important because I want you to know, and you can maybe think about it right now, how much money do you want to make on an annual and monthly basis? From there, that's how we set your goals. That's how we figure out your strategic business plan to help you get there. So write down a number right now. And you can go through the numbers in this presentation with me. And if you need more help, again, reach out one-on-one. We're also going to talk about how to build a proper offer. When you move online, I don't care what business you are, real estate, jewelry, hair, there is a way to modify your offer and to provide value so you're still able to make money. You may need to think outside the box to think, okay, how do I now provide value in an online space? And I'm here to help you brainstorm, but it is possible. And then I'm going to teach you how to make the sale and increase your sales and revenue. Okay. So I would not be me if I didn't talk about mindset first. I obviously already talked about it in the intro, but in order to build 6 figures in 6 months, it is not just business strategy. Mindset is super important. So again, I will send you my Millionaire Mindset Workshop. As well, I launched a leadership and mindset course. It's called Launch Your Power. If you want to check it out, launchyourpower.com/online-course. And you can see here, one of my clients came to me specifically for business strategy. She's like, I only need business. And you'll see in her testimonial here, she's like, I thought what would bring me success in business was like all business strategy. I didn't even think I had mindset blocks. Lo and behold, a couple months working together, she really started to see what was actually holding her back. She started seeing her blind spots so that she can implement and execute all the business strategies we were talking about. So if you go through this workshop and you're thinking, I've tried all these things, I've done all these things, make sure you're also turning inward to know your blind spots and surround yourself with people who are going to call you out and actually get you to the next level. So here's another client of mine giving a testimonial on business strategy. So again, this workshop is on business strategy. I'm going to teach you the specific strategy I use to get to 6 figures. Business strategy is simple. Oftentimes in our mind, we complicate it. So I'm going to give you some red flags during this presentation and let you know where sometimes you may complicate it. Start small. It really boils down to 3 steps: building a community, nurturing your community, and making the sale. That's it. And I'm going to teach you how I did that in this workshop. So don't complicate it. Be very methodical and move a little bit slower. Sometimes when you try to do too many things, you're confused and so is your client. So the first thing to go over before we dive into lead generation and everything, I want you to be very clear on who are you talking to? Who is your audience? How are you helping them? What solution are you providing them? It is really important to get in the head, yes, in your head, but also in the head of your target demographic. What are their pain points? What are their challenges? What is actually keeping them up at night? What are their fears? What are their goals? What does their dream life look like? You need to know all of these things in order to make sure that you're communicating to your audience properly. And most importantly, providing them offers that will actually help them. Here, red flag, people often make the mistake of building something, knowing that it will help their clients, but not actually understanding what their client is going through. And therefore, there's a disconnect. The client doesn't see the product as something that will solve their problems and is an actual solution to whatever challenges they're going through in their life. So what I want you to do is I want you to create 2 lists. I want you to create a list of all of the pain points and challenges that your current target demographic is going through. Then I want you to create another list of what their dream life looks like, what their desires and goals look like. It is from these 2 lists that you're going to build your offers, you're going to build your marketing, your strategy, and really go from there. This is the starting point, knowing what problem you actually solve for your people. And if you're wondering how to know what their pain points and challenges are, you got to ask them. I am constantly asking my community on a weekly basis, what are your fears? What are you going through? Where are you at? And if you're part of my community, you see it. This asking your community is going to come up again when we talk about actually building a proper offer that will sell. So, number 1, I want to make sure you're showing up. If you get nothing else from this workshop, you have to show up. You have to provide value. You need to position yourself as an expert. People need to know, like, and trust you. If you are not providing value and resources, people don't know who you are, what you have to offer, and why they should come to you. So how you can provide value, obviously social media. We have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, tons of different platforms. I've done a workshop on how to scale and build revenue on social media. If you want that, send me a DM. But just quickly here within social media, really start building out a strategy. Go to your pain points list and your desires list and build out your 30-day plan. What does it look like? What are you talking about? When are you doing lives, stories, collaborations, interviews? I know this may sound overwhelming, but when you put it all out, just get one of those paper calendars, pick a pain point, and just put a pain point or desire on each day. And then you start from there, one at a time. You do not have to show up on your feed every single day. It is value over quantity, quality over quantity. However, people do want to see you. They want to know you. They want to trust you. So start building that trust. So you can do that through social media. Here I do a quick breakdown of how to really connect with your target demographic through social media. It's important to tell them what you're going to tell them why it's important to them, talk about that pain point or desire, give them a tip, give them an immediate action step, or I'll say the word tip again, tip that they can use right now to make a difference, to see a difference in their life. And then number 4, give them a call to action. You have to tell them where to go. You have to tell them their next step. The call to action, red flag, people usually fail in the call to action. They don't give a call to action. So they're providing value and then they're not sending them anywhere. We're going to talk more about the call to action a little bit later in this presentation to make sure you're increasing your revenue. Another way to share and provide value is myth and truth, telling them the old way of doing it and the new way and why it's better. I did this a little bit in our introduction because I talked about how the hustle and the grind is the old way, and now the new way is really tuning into self, making sure your headspace is in the right space to make sure you feel good and you're still building financial freedom at the same time. Another way to provide value is through email and texting. Text communities are also becoming more popular. So if you look at, go follow Gary V or Gary Vaynerchuk. He is a text community. He does a beautiful job at building and nurturing his text community. Now, additional resources to provide value, events, webinars, download, challenges, opt-ins. I'm going to talk more about this and how to actually build those. So the summary from this slide, in order for you to increase sales and to get to 6 figures in the next 6 months, you got to show up. You have to be posting on social media, Facebook, starting discussions, starting polls, really connecting and building engagement. The benefit of this is people start knowing what you do. Number 2 is you can start getting and gathering information from the people that are engaging in your content, asking them, what are your pain points? What are your challenges? So start putting yourself out there. If you were to ask 10 people what you do, would they be able to tell you? If you were to say, hey, what's my brand? What do I do? Would they know? And would that align with the image that you're trying to portray? Because so often people will come to me and they're not showing up. And when you're not showing up, you can't get one-on-one calls and you can't get sales. So you have to start building community. This providing value is how you start building community and building leads. So that brings us into lead generation. Lead generation, when you're building community and building leads, I need you to know followers do not matter. Let me further explain. Your followers don't matter if you do not have their emails. Algorithms are changing daily. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. You do not own your followers. You need to start converting your followers into actual emails. You need to create a database. So pop in the chat box, let me know how many followers or how many emails do you have? Have you started an email list? If not, get on MailChimp, get on ConvertKit, Flowdesk, Kartra. There's a million different email platforms that you can use, some free, some not. So if you need further suggestions on email platforms, let me know. Also easy to Google, depending on what you need email for and the different functionality. Now, how do you collect these emails? You collect emails by an opt-in. What is an opt-in? Opt-in is, you'll see ads for this all the time. Here is a webinar. Here is a 5-day challenge. Here is a summit or retreat. Here is a specific list or freebie. People have to give you their email to get that content. So you'll see, download this list and you have to give your email and the list will get sent to you. This is how you start to build your email list. There's many different strategies to different opt-ins. So what I would recommend, do you have an opt-in right now? I don't care what industry you're in, you need to start collecting emails. If you need help on how to build an opt-in or what topics are best for your industry, I'm going to be doing an entire webinar on how to build opt-ins in a couple of weeks that you can join. Actually, it's next week. So if you're watching this recording, there is a opt-in webinar. So do you have an opt-in? What is it going to be? Choose one for now. Here's where people get too complicated. Choose one. Choose a webinar, a challenge, and then you can start to build. Once you have one, then you can move from there. But have one and make sure that it converts and it's successful. One of my most popular opt-ins is super simple. It's the networking formula, 5 tips to networking as an adult. And so make sure, however, that your opt-in is collecting emails from people that will purchase your product or your offer. For example, if you are in real estate, you might not want an opt-in that's, 10 of my favorite mantras, because people that download the mantra list aren't necessarily going to be leads for you. So make sure your opt-in is generating leads for your offer, for your service, for your product, okay? Other ways to build your email list: giveaways, collabs, PR, and public speaking. Now, I put this separately at the bottom because in order for those to work, you still have to send them to one of the above. You still have to collect their email, right? So make sure you're always giving a call to action and sending people somewhere to collect their email address. Summary from this slide: collect an email address, build your email list, have a way to collect their email. Okay, what is an opt-in? We just talked about it. Here are a few different forms of opt-ins broken out a little bit further. So a webinar, what we're doing right now, I collected your email to get onto this webinar. Business. Summit or retreat, you pre-record. I prefer to pre-record it. You can do it live if you want, but you interview 8 to 20 experts and professionals, and you basically promote it as a summit or retreat. You can have a lot of fun with it. You don't have to call it a summit or retreat, but the format of this opt-in is collaborating with other people, interviewing them, and then sharing the recording or that interview with your community. And here's the beauty: their community. That's why in brackets, I put an application with 5,000 or more email list. So when you're interviewing people, you want to make sure that they also have an email list and they're sharing your interview with their community. So by you collaborating with that person, they are sharing the interview with their community, which then brings people into your community. Do you see the beauty of collaborations? Yes. So a challenge, having a 5 to 7 day challenge to a certain result, a 5-day challenge to lose 2.5 pounds, a 5-day challenge to inner peace, whatever. This is me just, telling you off the cuff, but make sure again that your challenge is bringing out leads that will convert into leads for your sale of your offer. You then have freebies, ebooks, PDFs, checklists, secrets, tips, webinars, videos. Here I say again, the topic is important. So summary of this slide: make sure you have an opt-in, one step at a time, and start collecting your emails. Okay, here now I want to make sure that you have the right structure when you're building your opt-in. When you build an opt-in, you're going to have a lead page. That's how you collect the emails. Don't bypass this. I've seen people try to do an opt-in and then just create a Facebook group. You're not necessarily collecting emails through a Facebook group, right? So make sure you have a lead page, sales page. You can build it on any of these platforms. There's also many more that they have to give you their email that will connect automatically to your email list. And then you can start collecting that data. From that data, anyone that's entered your opt-in can then, you now have that list of people that you can now sell to through emails, automated emails. That's the beauty. This is how you start making money in your sleep, because anyone that joins an opt-in can now get a sequence of emails that will direct them to your offer. Now, the price of your offer matters in emails, but we could talk forever about that. You'll see here the automated emails. You can have 3 to 8 automatic emails with a call to action. So just be careful of what the call to action is. If you have a product that's $1,000 or more, directing them to a one-on-one call is usually your highest conversion rate. But here's where trial and error really does work, knowing what products can you sell via email to your database and what can't. And then you just continue to modify and adapt. So I want you to pull out that number that we spoke about in the beginning of this presentation. What is your revenue goal? Right now, mine's multiple 7 figures. So what I do is I break down my goal, and then I know the math of how I'm going to get there. And I do this with my coaches too, because sometimes it's hard to see how am I going to get there. So I got to my 6 figures in 6 months with one package, one offer. I will show you here, you can see the breakdown. So in order to get, let's say 100K, know how many units you need to sell. Do you need to sell 500 units at $20, 20 units at $5,000, or 100 units at $1,000? Know what your product is, what it sells for, so that's your price, and then know how many you need to sell. This is going to help you meet your goals because, so for example, when I did 6 figures in 6 months, I did a higher ticket item. So I was at the $5,000 mark, right? And so I only needed to sell 20. That's why I was able to actually hit multiple 6 figures, right? In 6 months. So then all I did was my call to action was getting them on one-on-one calls. I was a one-on-one call selling machine. Here's where it's important to know your revenue structure. Where are you sending people? If you only have a $20 item, that's easier to sell over emails. And that's when I want you to, here's where I don't want you to make it confusing. I don't want you to say, oh, I have a $5,000 offer and a $20 offer and a this and a that. I need you to keep it simple. Laser focus, blinders on. I need you to start with your one offer, especially if you're struggling financially. I always recommend going for a higher ticket item and selling less, but making sure that you know how to sell that higher ticket item. So don't complicate it, because if I, in my 6 months, were to say, okay, well, I have a $20 offer, $5,000 and a $1,000 offer, I wouldn't be very good at sales when I'm on the call, because I would be telling them, okay, well, you can get one of these 3. It really complicates it. You have your blinders on and you say, okay, great, I have a $5,000 package. I need to sell 20, 40, 50, whatever it is. It's a lot easier for you to sell. You're building momentum. Once you have mastered selling your offer, your first offer that you're going to choose, then you can expand. So only after I was able to really master my high ticket sale did it make sense for me to build a membership at $20, to build a course at $1,000. And now I can have multiple streams and multiple sales techniques to sell those different offers. But do you see how it can get confusing? If you are just starting out and you're having all these different offers and all these things, just start simple. Business and sales can be simple as long as you don't complicate it for yourself. Okay, so know your numbers. Okay, so you're going to be asking, well, then that's great. How do I create an offer? How do I know what I'm selling for $20, $5,000, $1,000? Now, here's the beautiful part. I want you to know your numbers before you go into this. Why? Because if you tell me, Vanessa, I want to create a $3,000 offer, I don't know how. Okay, let's brainstorm. Let's have fun. What would be fun? Let's go back to your target demographic. What are their challenges? What are their pain points? What are their goals and desires? How can you help them get there? And if you can't yourself help them get there, who do you need to collaborate with? What else do you need to offer them? So for example, I'm building a mastermind for next year, and I'm thinking, oh, well, they need to know about their health. They need CEOs. What do they need? They need to know about their health. They need to know mindset. They need to know nutrition, fitness. So I'm actually collaborating with other people to sell my larger ticket offer to make sure they get the resources they need. So know that you don't have to do it all. You can collaborate and provide other resources, but you'd be amazed how much you can offer. So how do you just create more value in your product? So you can start a lot higher than you think you can. That's usually how I start with my clients. I say, great, how much do you want to make? Great, let's work backwards. And then they start seeing, oh shit, I really need a $2,000 offer. I can't start at 100. That means I have to sell, 100 people, and I don't know where I'm going to get 100 people. So know your math. That's what's going to pay your bills. And it's really important for me to tell you and support you so that you can live with freedom. I don't want you to be struggling. You don't have to struggle. You just have to know your numbers. And that's how we can build your strategy to get to those numbers. Only when you know your numbers can you actually start figuring out, okay, how do I get more one-on-one calls? How do I get more leads? How do I get more sales? We have to work backwards from your numbers. Now, another element, here's where survey is coming up. When you have brainstorm and you think, okay, this is fun, I need you to ask people. I need you to start surveying them. This is again where it comes in. Start asking people, what are your challenges? Would this be helpful? Do you need this? The other thing that a survey does is people are giving you feedback in their language. You're going to use that language to then sell your offer. So things that you need to know from your target demographic, like I said here, goals, challenges. Why haven't they gotten there yet? What are their main objections to your product, your offer, your service? What do they need help with? Why is it important to them? Really getting in their head. These calls also are part of sales. In order to properly sell, you need to know, where are you at here? Where are you at? Where do you want to go? And why haven't you gotten there yet? Because now you need to prove that you are the bridging them from where they are now to where they need to go. That's sales, okay? Now, within your offer, again, I talk about language. Now, this is also important, long-term versus short-term cash. This connects to your offer and to your numbers. So when I first started, my original business as an entrepreneur was in events. I did very well in events. However, I need you to know events are technically long-term cash. So are you putting in the work now to get money later? Or are you getting the money up front? That's your short-term cash. I need you to be very careful when you're building your offer. Are you putting all this time into something that you don't actually get paid for until later? Or are you putting in the work now and getting the money now? This is really important to know when building your cash flow and knowing your budget, your numbers, and making sure you stay afloat. I need you, depending on where you're at, if you do not have investors, do not have a safety bank, or need money now, regardless, I need you to focus on your short-term cash. Do the work now, get paid now. The long-term cash, if an event falls through, if a pandemic happens and you don't get that money, then what happens? So for me in my business, and what my coaches always told me, make sure you're sold out before you build a course, before you create more offers that give you long-term cash. Even if you're building an online course, pre-sell it now so you get the cash now. Don't work on the course for years, for months, and then hope, fingers crossed, I hope I sell this. No, pre-sell. You need to be focusing on short-term cash. How do I get the money now? How do I get the money now to support me financially as I build? So important. I don't want you to struggle. I want you to have financial freedom. This is possible. Know where your money is coming from. Okay? So brainstorm from this, pick or summary from this slide. I need you to know what your offer is. Be very clear. Start with how much you want to make, brainstorm, and ask your people. Don't sell something they don't want, and make sure that you're communicating it to them in the language they understand. So here's an example of everything that we've been talking about, which is called a funnel. Where are your leads coming from? Instagram, an opt-in, your webinar, where your leads coming from. After you obtain those leads, you collect those emails. Where are you sending them to? What's the next step? People need to get told where to go. Where do they go next? How do they find out more about you? How do they find out what you do? How do they get more help from you? How do you provide them more value? Are you then sending them to a call, a download? So just from attending this webinar that I have you on, you get a free call. So I'm now sending you either to a free call, my membership, or my course. And I'll show you an example later. And I'm telling you this and being completely transparent because I want to support you. I want to help you. And that's okay. I need you to get comfortable talking about sales because when you sell, you provide value, right? I need you to be comfortable saying, this is what I'm doing. And I'm comfortable telling you, you're on this webinar. This is what I want to send you to if you need more help. That's the difference. To be good at sales, you're unattached to the outcome and you truly want their best interest. If you need more help, this is how to work with me. If you need more assistance, this is where to go next. If you don't, that's cool. I'll love you anyways. And so it's really important to understand what this looks like in your business. Then you obviously have the offer. Once you get them on a one-on-one call, or once you get them on a webinar, once you get them in a download, what are you selling them? This is where the price point of your product will change your strategy a little bit, right? Because if you have a higher ticket item, you want some more of that one-on-one time. But if you have a lower ticket product or item, then you can easily sell that via email. And so you can see here, there's a difference depending on the price point of your offer. So just keep that in mind. Regardless, all you need to know from this slide is what does your actual customer journey look like? Where are they coming from? Where do they go? And then how do you get the sale, right? What does that process look like to the sale to your bank account, right? So here's a specific example of mine. So, and this is just one lead. So keep in mind that you can, if you wanted to be very creative and you're really visual, you might want to create a little chart for every single lead, but that's up to you. However you visualize it best. So if people are coming in through Instagram, the different offers that I sell on Instagram are a webinar, a one-on-one call, or a freebie, a download. Now you'll see here, depending on how they come in, they will be sent into different directions. If they're on a webinar, they'll be sent to either a purchase my membership, join a one-on-one call, or join another event, or get a download. The important thing is not to confuse the end consumer. I'm not going to give you all of these options at once. I'll give you one. A confused mind takes no action. You got to make it simple. So I'm trying to make it simple for you to really understand the bigger picture so that your end client finds it simple and it's very clear what they're doing and where they're going. Where are you encouraging them to move? What's their next best step? So the same thing for a one-on-one call from my Instagram. I give a free one-on-one call. On that one-on-one call, I can either sell them one-on-one coaching, my course, or my upcoming mastermind. If they do a download, then I can send them an automatic email sequence to either get on a one-on-one call with me or join a webinar or an event. Does this make sense? Okay, this makes sense. Give me the thumbs up. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat box. We are almost done. So sales, I have to tell you, I love sales. Why? Because I get to help. I know that I can help people. I am confident in my ability to help someone. So if I see that they're challenged right now, and I see their dreams and desires, and if I am a fit to help them there, Oh, that makes me so excited. So build your confidence in your ability to serve and help. 80% of your time as a business owner needs to be on sales. So as you hear that, I want you to think, how much of your time is on sales right now? Really? Sales. 80% of your time. When I went from when broke to multiple six figures in 6 months, I sold. I was on sales calls. I was driven. I'm like, great. I know what I have to offer. I know my offer. I was getting on sales calls every single day. It just depends how quickly you want to do this. If you want to do it in 6 months, if you want to do it in 3 months, go. If you want to do it in a year, that's fine. The time is irrelevant. The strategy is the same. However, if you want it faster, you just do more. So 80% of your time needs to be spent on sales. A reminder, I need you to show up. I need you to make the offer. If people do not know what you're selling, they will not buy from you. Know your numbers and conversion rates. What does this mean? This is slightly different numbers than we spoke about before. I need you to know your numbers here, and I'll give you an example so that you know where your leaks and blind spots are. So this is how you're going to adapt really quickly. So if you are making the offer and you're showing up, but you're not getting engagement, you're not getting one-on-one calls, you're not getting leads, then we know where your leak is. If you're not showing up, then we know where your leak is. If you're getting on calls and you're not making the sale, or people are getting to your website and they're not purchasing, or if people are unsubscribing from your emails, we start to see where your leak is. If people aren't opening your emails and you have a really low open rate or click-through rate, then we know where your leak is. Knowing your numbers and conversions is powerful. It does not mean you're a failure. I look at my emails and my stats all the time and I think, okay, great, I'd like this higher. Okay, great, this is a good number. It's from these numbers that we can start to provide more strategy. If people aren't signing up for your webinar or for your opt-in, great, we know where the leak is. So that's when we start to strategize and pivot, right? This is where mindset is super important. You can't get in your head thinking, I'm such a failure, nobody's buying from me, I'm gonna, look at so-and-so, they're doing so well. No, I get why your head goes there, but this is where you need to focus. If you really want to make 6 figures in the next 6 months, you have to focus. What you focus on expands. The only thing stopping you from getting 6 figures in 6 months is your head. Because the strategy is simple, which I hope you can see today. So if your head isn't there, you're insecure, you don't have the confidence to show up and to share. That's why when I first started this presentation, I told you mindset's super important, because your mind is going to hold you back, not your strategy. You are meant to show up. You are meant for so much more. And so what is holding you back, really? Now, sales, here are some different areas that you can sell. We've already talked about it. This is similar from the providing value slide. Wherever you're providing value, social media, newsletters, automatic emails, you can give a call to action. Tell them where to go. Give a call to action. Every single day, you should be doing 3 things. Building your community, so collecting emails, providing value, and giving people a call to action. Send them somewhere. You'll see in my Instagram, every single post, DM me sales if you want to learn some more sales techniques and bring in more revenue. DM me dream if you want to hit your dream life in 2021. I'm showing up in my stories, in my feed, in my emails, always telling them where they can go next, where they can go next. This is what funnels into what you saw before, my lead generation. That's how I send them through my funnel. Now, I want to just make a note here with the captions and implementing your call to action in your captions, your videos, your blunt posts, and your DMs. So let me go captions and videos first. When you are implementing your call to action in your captions and videos, you need to be clear. Don't just say, join my webinar on Monday. I need you to really go back to the pain point. If you are struggling, if you are having trouble bringing in revenue right now, if you are having trouble pivoting during COVID, if you are staying awake at night wondering where is extra money coming from, you need to attend my webinar on Monday where we're going to talk about getting 6 figures in 6 months. DM me webinar and I'll send you the link. So do you see here, I told them why they needed it, how to get it, and I made it very simple. I gave them a word, DM me webinar. You know, another thing I see in videos and in captions, people will say, if this resonates you, message me. No, what resonates with you and how do they message you? Lower the barrier to entry. If this resonates with you, if you are feeling anxiety and depression just overwhelming you, if you don't know how to show up, how to move through to become a more confident person, I need to help you. I want to help you. DM me confidence and I'll help you get to your best self in the next 90 days. Do you see how clear that call to action is? When somebody reads your call to action, they should think, yep, that's me. I need her. Okay? Blunt post and DMs. What is a blunt post? You'll see it on my Instagram. I do one every week and I say, I am looking for, my latest one that I just did, I am looking for 5 entrepreneurs who are looking to double their income and master a millionaire mind in the next 90 days. I will personally coach you and guide you to financial freedom and inner peace. DM me millionaire to see if you qualify. I post that as my actual post. You'll see in that blunt post, I was telling them who I'm looking for, what I'm looking for, how I'm going to help them, and how they can get in contact with me. You have to start being really direct so people know how you can help them, how your product, how your service can help them. Once they get into your DMs, start a conversation or send them somewhere. If you're starting a conversation, you need to know 2 things in order to provide them with the right resource. What are their goals? What are their challenges? Then you know what offer to send them, or depending on your funnel, that's why it's important to have a funnel. You can send them to an application form. You can send them to a landing page. You can send them to a purchase. This depends specifically on your business, so modify accordingly. Then we have your newsletter, automated emails. If you want to learn more about how to launch a product or service, check out the book Launch by Jeff Walker. It's awesome, very simple, and it'll start to give you more information about how to launch and how to actually use your emails to increase your sales and revenue. Now, I put ads here on purpose. I do not want you, in my opinion, to use ads until you have a proven system, until you know your funnel, until you know that your product sells. Do not spend money too early. I think ads are really valuable. However, I'm only starting to do ads now after I've already reached multiple 6 figures. Why? Because I know my funnel, I know my system, I know my maps, right? My maps of where people are coming from and where they go. And then that way it is very clear. In my ad, I can promote a freebie, send them to either my membership or one-on-one call. From the one-on-one call, I can sell them my course or my coaching. Within ads, you also want to have more automation. And so you can see how it starts to get too complicated. I don't want you to worry about ads if you're not there yet. So with ads, you want to know the automation because they're going to put in their email to get something. Then what? They're usually going to have a sequence of emails that are automatically sent to them, giving them a call to action and leading them to another place within your company. So you can see how it starts to get a little bit complicated. If you're there, awesome. Find the right people to support you. I have an awesome guy if you want me to put you in contact with him, but it's really important to know. And he will tell you that he didn't even take me on until I knew all of my maps and all my funnels and all of my automations. Okay. However, if you aren't there yet, that's okay. Honor where you're at. Don't beat yourself up, and get a Facebook pixel regardless. What is a Facebook pixel? You can just get it on Facebook on a business page, and you can attach it to your website, to your opt-in, and it starts to gather data on people that are going to your opt-in, going to your website, so that when you do ads, you can target your ads better, and which will lead to higher conversion rates and higher sales. So in summary, this is what we have gone over today. We talked about how to give value, show up. We talked about how to get more leads and get your emails from your leads. Then we talked about your numbers, how to know your numbers. Where is your money coming from? We talked about how to build an offer, and we talked about call to action, making sure you give the call to action and make the sale. So with all of that being said, I know there is so much in here. I always give tons of value in my workshops. If you have any questions about how to build opt-ins, how to build your business strategy, how to create your offer, how to get better at sales, please DM me. I would love to help you. I give free one-on-one, I was going to say one-on-one workshops, but a one-on-one strategy call to help you build this out. And if you want coaching or you want my online course, I'm happy to tell you more about that too. But most importantly, I want to make sure in your mind, you're really clear on what your next steps are and how all of this applies to your specific business. So no, as we move online, the same strategies apply. They just might be tweaked a little bit depending on your business and your industry. So make sure to ask for help. Find the right support team to help you get there. I talk about this in networking, but I feel it necessary to say now. Make sure you are surrounded by people who inspire you and who help you get to where you want to go. It's so important to inspire each other. I don't want you to use other people. I want you to create a network of people that you can support one another to your dreams and your goals and desires. So I need you to know where you are now. I need you to know where you want to go. And I need you to know, how are you going to get there? Find the right people to get there so that you know your blind spots and you know how to get to that dream life and the numbers that you're looking for if we want to get back to practical numbers. So follow me on Instagram. I am Vanessa O. Apply for a one-on-one call. You can see that in Instagram, but you're also going to get an email after that to apply for your one-on-one call. And if you want to check out my mindset course, you can check it out at launchyourpower.com/online-course. And or you can email me, as always, traditional, iamvanessa@gmail.com. So thank you so much for being here. We are going to go into Q&A, but I so appreciate you being here on this webinar, committing to your business and being here today, because so many people register for webinars and don't show up. And so you being here today really shows me what you're made of. And I know you know that life is so much more. And so go out there, get it, because you truly, truly deserve everything you could ever want. And I hope to help you get there. So thank you so much.